All right, Shalom. We the brothers of Great Millstone, a branch out in Des Moines. First and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chachwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers who preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity. And this lesson is pretty much based on don't let the affliction we going through harden our hearts, you know. And we got examples of it, because pretty much this affliction, the trials and tribulations that we're going through, man, it is meant to purge us of our impurities. And it's meant to make us perfect in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, as it is written in Hebrews 2:10. It says that the captain of our salvation being Yahweh Shai, it says Yahweh Shai was perfected through the sufferings he went through, you know. So without further ado, I'm just hit this scripture. This is Exodus 4:31. Now, when you read the beginning chapters of Exodus, the Lord revealed himself unto Moses. He came to Moses, he gave him his name, and he told him to go to the children of Israel. And Moses said, well, the children of Israel won't believe that you sent me. So the Lord gave him signs to do in front of the children of Israel that they may believe, right? So this is Exodus 4:31.
So like it real fast, soon as you said what you said, I was thinking about Exodus, because we read Exodus and I was finishing on getting into my Exodus today. So that's the spirit. You already, go ahead, you got it.
This is Exodus 4:31. It says, and the people believed, right? Because he showed them those signs and they believed. And when they heard that Yahweh had visited the children of Israel and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads in worship. So when Moses came to him and said, hey, the father of the power of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, his name is Yahweh, he's coming to redeem us out of the hands of the Egyptians, man. And the people believed. It said they bowed their heads in worship, right? You know, so they were pretty much with it. But guess what happened, man? Find the scripture real quick.
Right, shit. When they was coming out of Egypt, the Pharaoh and his crew came and they was asking Moses, you brought us out here because there wasn't enough graves in Egypt. You brought us out here to be slain. This is when they was walking through the sea, man. You know, so that belief flipped real fast when they started getting persecuted, or when the hell started to ramp up, when the taskmaster started beating their ass even more. They flipped. At first they believed. At first they was worshiping, and then when that hell started to kick in, and they flipped on them real quick, man. But you got it.
This is Exodus 5, and I started 1. And after Moses and Aaron went and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, let my people go, that we may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go. And they said, the power of the Hebrews hath met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our power, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with sword. And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works get you unto your burdens? And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. And the tail of the bricks which they did make heretofore ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, for they be idle. Therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our power. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye, get you straw where ye can find it, yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. So basically, when Moses came unto the people, they believed. And then when Moses came to Pharaoh and said, look, let my people go, guess what the Lord put on Pharaoh's spirit, man? To add more affliction, to add more bonds, to add more work, hell, like the brother said, unto the Israelites. To do what? To prove them, man. First off, this is Sirach 2:1. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, man. So when the Lord came unto Moses, and Moses came unto the children of Israel, when the Lord came and revealed himself, that was the trying period right there, man. Because the Lord tells us what? This is Sirach, the 6th chapter. And the 7th verse is Sirach 6 and 7. It says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of trouble, man. And as it is written in the book of Proverbs, it says a friend is born for adversity. Matter of fact, let me get that because I don't want to butcher it, man. Ultimately, it's going into what, man? The Lord put this hell on us to see if we truly believe in his word, to see if we are truly faithful servants, man. Okay. Here it is, we're catching all this hell when we came to serve the Lord, but yet we still have the patience and the faith in order to continue to endure in this walk of ours, man. That's true faith. That's true trust and commitment that you show unto the Lord when you stay faithful within your trials and tribulations. And that's what Yahweh Basham Yahushua is looking for, you know? So that's why we continue to pray that he may keep his spirit upon us, and that we may endure whatsoever afflictions that come our way, you know?
Right, it's the same thing happening now. When Moses came to the children, when Moses went to the children of Israel and said, hey, the Lord is going to redeem you. It's the same thing as us when we first hear the truth and say, and the apostles and the elders and the prophets on the highways and byways, they told us, hey, you're a child of Israel, and the kingdom is ready for you. They're remaining the rest for you. You know what I'm saying? And you believe, you truly believe, but then that's when that hell begins to come. It says in the book of Sirach, the 2nd chapter, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. So when you come to serve the Lord, when you wake up to the fact that you're an Israelite, man, you get your garment, you start going out to the camps, you start reading, you start studying, man, a temptation is going to come your way. Why? Because the Lord is trying us. And it's a constant trying process. It's not for a month you're going to get tried and that's it. For 2 months you're going to get tried and that's it. No, it's constantly, man. Until the end we are going to be tried. That's why it says in the book of Revelations, it says, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. Be thou faithful unto death and receive a crown of life. So what is being tried? Our faith. Our faith is being tried. Our faith is being tested. That's why in the book of Luke, I believe it's the 18th chapter, it says, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth? So all these trials and all these afflictions, Paul said, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom. So we're going to go through a lot of hell. But the scriptures say, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth them out of them all. So it's just a process of our faith being tried and being purified and being strengthened, man. You got it.
As it is written in the book of James, it says that the trial of your faith being more precious than a fine gold, man. Roughly paraphrasing James, the 1st chapter. But this I'm
holding that in Peter, but you got it.
But this is the book of Proverbs 17 and 17. It says, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity, man. You know? So that's how a friend is known. This is the book of Sirach 12 and verse 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity. That word friend and brother is synonymous with each other. And an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity, man. So to know a true friend, to know a true brother, is when you in your lowest points, man. You know? And right now, let me get this scripture real quick, Salakia. Because right now, are we not we only in our low point, but Yahweh Shai, man, as it is written, it says what? That we have entered into his crucifixion. This is Sirach. This is Sirach. Salakia, bear with me. I'm trying to find it. This is Sirach, the 22nd chapter. This is Sirach 22 and verse 23. It says, be faithful to thy neighbor in his poverty, that thou mayest rejoice in his prosperity. So right now, us being with Yahweh Shah, we're in his what? In his poverty, man. And we're being what? His part of his body, you see? It says that thou mayest rejoice in his posterity. Abide steadfast unto him in the time of his trouble. Right? We're in the time of our trouble right now, and ultimately Jacob's trouble is coming upon us, man. You see? It says that thou mayest be heir with him in his heritage. So we're going to abide faithful with Yahweh Shai during his time of trouble, you know, which it represents the whole body of the elect. So in our time of trouble, we're going to remain faithful so that we may be heirs with Yahweh Shai in that time to come, man. As it is written in Romans, the 8th chapter. It says what? That we are joint heirs with him if we suffer with him, man. So we got to go through the purification process just as our Lord and Savior went through the purification process, man. And we must stay faithful in this adversity, because that's how we are known. That's how true friends and true brothers are known. It's in the affliction and not in prosperity, man. Because as it is written, every man is a friend in your prosperity. You know, it says, for a mean estate is not always to be contemned, nor the rich that is foolish to be had in admiration. Meaning what? A lowly estate is not always to be despised, man. We have to be in this lowly estate. We have to be in this humbling state in order to receive the grace and glory that's prepared for us, you know?
Right, the scriptures say honor comes before humility. Or humility comes before honor. So the Lord is what? Having us in this low estate, humbling us so that we can get that honor in the end. There's Isaiah 48:10. It says, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. In the furnace of affliction. Gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So we have to go through the fire to be purified, to be accepted of the Lord. All right?
That's Israel's lot, as it is written in 2nd Esdras, the 7th chapter, man. We got to go through the danger in order to get to the broad. Roughly paraphrasing.
Yep. And this is the scripture that you quoted. This is the spirit, because I was holding it. This is 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 7. It says that the trial, start at verse 6, it says, wherein ye rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Right. So the one I was thinking of was, I quoted that one,
right.
But what I was thinking of was James, the 1st chapter, where it says that the trial blesses the man that endureth temptation, because after he is tried, he shall receive a crown of life, which is the precept to that, man. Right. You know, it's synonymous, you know.
It says, whom having not seen, ye love, in whom, though now ye see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. Right, and that's a heavy scripture, man. Who now having not seen, ye believe. Yahweh Shai, blessed is he that believes and has not seen, man. All right, we haven't seen the Lord physically, but we still believe that he's coming to deliver us, man. All right, we still, it's a scripture in Sirach. It says, having not seen the Lord with bodily eyes, they still believe, man.
I got you.
Baba Kushai.
This is 2nd Esdras 1, and this is 2nd Esdras 1, and first I'm gonna start at 35. It says, your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I have showed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say.
It's heavy, man. Yet in spirit believe the things that I say, man. Believe everything that's written in the scriptures. Believe the promises that was made with our forefathers. Believe that the covenant is still in full effect. Believe that the Lord has not forsaken his people, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and he can still hear our cries and our prayers to this day, man. All right, so it says, 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 8, it says, whom having not seen ye love, in whom though now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your soul. So we have to keep on pushing to the end, man. All right, it says, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. The ones that make it unto the end is the ones that's going to have their souls saved from the second death, being the fire and brimstone that's to come, man. Sure. Okay, come. I thought I had one more.
You know, and it said what? They have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit believe the thing that I say. That's the true worshipers, man. According to St. John, the 4th chapter, it says what, man? The true worshipers shall worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. And that says, yet in spirit believe the thing that I say, man. You know, our spirit beareth witness with this spirit that we are the children of the Most High. and in heirs, joint heirs with Yahushua, if so be that we suffer with him, man. You know? So our trials and tribulations and the things we're suffering, man, hey, it's all a part of our purification process. It's all a part of us getting purified in order to receive the kingdom, man. Is more in there?
Allah.
Because you don't want to have the mindset of these niggas. Let's go back to Exodus 5 and verse 21. And they said unto them, I'm going to start at 19. This is Exodus 5 and 19. And the officers of the children of Israel did see that they were in evil case after it was said, ye shall not diminish aught from your bricks of your daily task. So they went to Pharaoh and was like, hey, why you put more work on us, man? And Pharaoh said, hey, because y'all want to go sacrifice, man. Y'all must be idle.
Almost got time.
So guess what these niggas came back and said? Verse 20. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And they said unto them, the Lord look upon you and judge, because you have made our Savior to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants, to put a sword in their hand to slay us, man. So before then it said they believed. But when the affliction ramped up, now all of a sudden they scoffing Moses and Aaron, man. We ought not to have that mindset, man. You know, they were in the wilderness, and what they looked for, man, the millings and the onions and the leeks. They were looking for things that made themselves comfortable. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, man, because that's how we grow. We grow in a position of uncomfortability. If that's a word, man. Hopefully that made sense.
Well, it says the more they afflicted them, the more they grew. The more hell we go through, the stronger our faith becomes, man.
Like we was talking about on the line, man. And we're spiritual sayings, man.
Yep.
You know, each battle that we win or through the Holy Spirit, man, over this flesh, over the demons, you know, we get stronger in the spirit, man, just like the sayings do.
That's it. This is Exodus chapter 14 and 12. It says, is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had, and this is what the brother was pretty much just reading, it says, for it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. So no matter what you going through, don't fear. All right, don't get shaky. Don't start wavering, man. Watch the salvation of the Lord. Let Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai work. Let Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai bring you through that affliction, bring you through that hell. This is what Moses is telling the children of Israel. He said, watch the Lord work, man. Watch the salvation of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. It says, and Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord Yahweh, which he will show to you this day. Salaki. Get the fuck out this nigga's way, big ass truck. It says, and Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord Yahweh, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Lord Yahweh shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. So, hey, the Lord is going to stand up for us. The Lord is going to fight our battles, man. All right, but that was it.
This is 1 Thessalonians 3. I'm going to start at 1. I'm going to read down to 4. It says, wherefore, when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timotheus, our brother and minister of the Most High, and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Yahushai, to establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith, that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. This is our lot. 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, man. This is Israel's lot. We have to go through the straight gate. We have to suffer these things in order to get purified, in order to receive the kingdom of heaven. This is verse 4. For verily, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and ye know. As it is written, Acts 14 and 22, through much tribulation shall we enter the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay. You know, so Lord willing, this was edifying. It was comforting. You know, it was encouraging, you know, to keep a cheerful mindset when we going through these afflictions. As it is written in Hebrews 12, we know that it's not joyous but grievous, but yet it yielded the peaceable fruits of righteousness, man. So we got to keep that within our spirits. You know, the hell that we're going through is perfecting us ultimately, you know. So with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakach Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers who preach in the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.